Hi everyone, in today's video I want to explain why Zano is also a fantastic investment. So it's amazingly good for the world and it's amazingly good as a personal investment. So first of all, there's a number of things you have to understand about Zano in order to appreciate just why it's such a great idea. One is that Zano coin is the native token on the Zano blockchain. Even more important than that, anyone can issue their own token on top of the Zano blockchain. The Zano blockchain is completely private for both the Zano base token and the tokens issued on top of the blockchain. And so it's important to understand that the Zano base token basically acts like Ethereum gas on the Ethereum network. So every transaction that happens on the Zano network, you'll need some Zano coin in order to pay for the gas, whether you're transacting in Zano itself or one of the tokens being issued on top of that. Outside observers looking at the Zano blockchain can't see the amount, they can't see what address, they can't see anything about the Zano coin that is being sent back and forth, and they also can't see anything about the token transactions. In fact, they don't even know if you're transacting in a token or in the Zano base coin itself for the gas. So you can transact in whatever token or Zano you want on top of the Zano blockchain, and nobody knows what you're transacting. They don't know from or address, they don't know to what address, they don't know what about, they don't know anything about it. So it's really, really, really different in something like Ethereum or Solana or Bitcoin, where the entire world can see the amounts that are moving from what address to what address. They can see everything about your transaction. And these loose companies usually can even figure out exactly who you are in the real world as well and tie you to each of those transactions. Whereas with Zano, by default, all the time, nobody can see even what coin you're transacting in, let alone the amount or who it's from or who it's to. So it's very, very important. This is totally different than all these other public blockchains out there. It's also important to understand that Zano is a hybrid proof of work and proof of stake blockchain. Half the blocks are proof of work, the other half are proof of stake. So that's very important. So then a proof of work blockchain like Bitcoin, for example, anybody that has more than 51% of the hash power can attack the network and do lots of bad things. Or on a solely proof of stake network, anybody that has more than half the staking nodes can attack the network and do bad things. Well, Zano's, half the blocks are proof of stake, half are proof of work. So that's really, really neat. Right? In order to attack a Zano, you would have to have more than half the hash power and half of the staked coins. And so maybe you can buy half the hash power, but in order to get half the staked coins, you'd have to buy up a whole bunch of coins. But as you buy up a whole bunch of coins, that pushes the price of Zano higher, which will attract more miners to the Zano network, which will mean there's more hash rate on the network now. And you as the attacker would need even more hash rate. And if you attract more hash rate, more people will take notice, and maybe other people will buy more Zano. It just becomes this self-reinforcing protective loom that makes Zano much, much safer than from 51% attacks and other blockchains that are solely proof of work or solely proof of stakes. That's another really great security feature. Zano's block time is 1 minute per block. That means one new Zano is released every minute. But currently, the network fees on the Zano network are hard-coded to 0.01 Zano, so 1/100th of a Zano per transaction on the network. But all those network fees for people transacting on the Zano blockchain, whether it's for Zano or their token, all those fees get burned, which means if more than 100 people transact in Zano every minute, more Zano will be burned than will be produced, and the entire network becomes deflationary. And once investors figure out that the Zano network is deflationary and there's less and less Zano available for the world every block because people are using it for their private token transactions and whatever else, more and more people are going to want to buy Zano because it's a deflationary asset that's actually being used in commerce for people all over the world with their various tokens doing who knows what. So that's going to really make the investors go crazy for Zano, because this is a powerful tool for e-commerce on the internet with privacy built right in, escrow built right in, marketplaces built right in. In other videos, we'll cover all the other details of what the Zano network enables. But from an investor standpoint, this will be really, really exciting. The Zano network as a whole will become deflationary, which means more and more people will FOMO in to try and buy as much Zano as they can as quickly as they can before the price goes up even more, because it's being used all over the world for these token transactions. So a few things to take note of that are important. That's that the current Zano transaction fee, it's hard-coded by the developers. They might change that in the future. As of the recording of this video, 1/100th of Zano, it costs about 2.5 cents per transaction. But if the price of Zano goes up significantly, that price might go up significantly, but the developers might adjust the fee per transaction on the network. And hopefully someday they'll even figure out how to calculate a way in which you can take the humans out of the fee calculation altogether, and it's simply set by the network without any room for people to argue over. One other thing to maybe worry about is that Zano is so private and so useful and likely to become so popular that governments around the world may preemptively try and ban people from using it. But we heard those exact same arguments about Bitcoin in the early days. And today, Bitcoin is this worldwide used platform. Zano has a very good chance of that becoming true as well, because it works just like Bitcoin, except that you'd actually have privacy. You can issue your own tokens. You can buy and sell things easily, cheaply, fastly, and reliably. It's just a fantastic platform for people to build the future of cryptocurrency on top of, and that's why we're busy promoting Zano to the world here at Zanolist.com. Stay tuned for our next video to learn even more about Zano.